Yo, what is going on guys? My name is TheJackSilkstone. So today I'm going to be telling you guys everything you need to know about Thorpe Park Fright Nights 2019, including info on all of the mazes, cool facts, and my very own top tips.
Lights, camera, action.
This year at Fright Nights, the park has 5 horror mazes, an escape room, and a scare zone / flash mob style experience. So we're going to go through all of these right now, and I'm going to rank them from the least scary to the most scary. The only official scare zone at this year's event is Terror at Amity High School Sucks, and is located at Stealth's Plaza. Terror at Amity High features a cast of vampires from Amity High who roam around and interact with passing guests. Every 20 minutes the vampires put on a skit, and every 2 hours at 3, 5, 7 and 9 PM there is a 10-minute dance show that I would highly recommend. It's very impressive. Terror at Amity High is by far the tamest thing at this year's event, and is a great place to start for those that are feeling a bit apprehensive about taking on some of the horror mazes at the park. In at number 6 we have Platform 15 in the daytime. Platform 15 is located in Old Town, with its main entrance being the Timber Tug ride station. A quick bit of advice for you: Timber Tug, Rocky Express and Lumber Jump all close at 2 PM during Fright Nights. Anyway, during the day, in my opinion, Platform 15 is the least scary maze at the park this year. This is because it is mostly outdoors, so it's nice and easy to see where the actors are hiding, and there are long sections of the maze where there are no actors at all, meaning you get a chance to get your breath back and relax a bit more. It is also a linear route maze, meaning you follow one continuous path from start to finish, meaning you're guaranteed to not be split up from your group. Something to note, however, is that Platform 15 has a very long tunnel section in which you are in the dark for a few continuous minutes, so if you are scared of the dark, maybe avoid Platform 15. The Blair Witch is located within the jungle area of the park, with its entrance being Jungle Escape and I'm a Celebrity's previous entrance. This year the Blair Witch has been completely reimagined and is now almost twice as long as it has been in previous years. Due to the fact the Blair Witch is a completely outdoor maze, it does open at dusk. So for the least scary experience, I would recommend getting into the maze as soon as it opens so that it isn't fully pitch black yet. The darker it gets, the more scary this maze becomes, as it is harder to see where the actors are hiding. This is another linear route maze, meaning you're almost guaranteed to not be split up, although it is very easy to get lost in this maze, so be careful.
That's a dead end.
Go any further? I'll go back.
Oh.
Returning for a third year at Thorpe Park Fright Nights, we have The Walking Dead Living Nightmare. This horror maze is located next to Old Town and Colossus, and is one of 2 fully indoor horror mazes at this year's event. This maze features scenes from the Walking Dead TV show and has been updated for 2019 to include characters from season 9 of the show. Due to the fact it is a fully indoor maze, it can be quite intense because you are fully enclosed and very immersed within the scenery. However, once again, you are very unlikely to be separated from your group in this maze once you've got past the pre-show. In the dark, Platform 15 is a completely different maze. Due to the outdoor nature of this maze, the dark makes it a lot harder to spot where the actors are hiding, and the night also makes the maze a lot more atmospheric. This maze is certainly a lot scarier in the dark and is definitely worth doing again, even if you've already experienced it in the daytime, as it feels like a completely different maze. At number 2 we have The Walking Dead Do or Die, the second Walking Dead maze at the park this year. This maze is located in Lost City and takes place both indoors and outdoors. The reason I've put this maze as the second scariest maze this year is the fact that there is a good chance you could be split up from your group and even isolated on your own within this maze. In order to get a tamer run through this maze, I'd definitely recommend experiencing it in the daylight, as it is easier to see the actors, but both in the light and dark, it is still going to be a very intense experience. As mentioned, this maze is themed to the Walking Dead TV series. However, this maze in particular focuses on the episodes in which the characters visit and try to seek refuge at Terminus. And because of that, this maze features slightly less zombies in comparison to Living Nightmare, and instead features a lot of crazy cannibals. If you do give Do or Die a go, be sure to keep an eye out for this beautiful picture of me, which is hidden about halfway through the maze. The most intense maze this year at Thorpe Park Fright Nights is the brand new Creek Freak Massacre. This maze is located within Old Town in the old Loggers Leap station, and it is described by Thorpe Park as their most intense maze ever. This maze is full of gore, intense actors, and lots of chainsaws. I will warn you right now that there is a good chance you will be split up and separated from your group in this maze. There are also plenty of flashing lights and even crawl tunnels for you to traverse through in this maze. I don't really know how else to express just how intense this maze is, so I'm just going to show you this clip from within Creek Freak Massacre. Yikes. So yeah, it certainly is very intense. If you would like to see full videos from within all of the mazes at this year's Fright Nights, then there is a dedicated playlist linked in the description or in the corner right now, so be sure to check it out. So yeah, those are all of the free attractions this year, but as I mentioned, there is also an escape room at the park called Containment. This is located opposite the events marquee between the Swarm and Depth Charge, and in order to experience Containment, you will need to purchase an additional ticket for £10. Within Containment, you will need to solve a variety of puzzles in a number of rooms in order to try and escape. Due to the actors inside the attraction, it is quite scary, but it is always a good laugh and can be a fun challenge to try and make your way out of the many rooms in the attraction. Another thing to do at this year's event is the Feared 5 challenge. This consists of riding the park's big 5 roller coasters, Swarm, Saw, Stealth, Colossus and Nemesis Inferno after dark. After each ride there will be a board where you can scan a QR code. After doing so, you will be given a letter, and once you've collected all 5 letters, you can then decipher the code word and quote it to a member of staff at the Thorpe Park Megastore, where they will then give you a free Feared 5 wristband. So that is everything that you have to look forward to if you are visiting Thorpe Park Fright Nights in 2019. Now, if you are a little bit nervous for your Fright Nights visit, then that is completely normal. I too used to be terrified of horror mazes. In fact, I used to just flat out refuse to go in them, and nowadays I love them. So here are my top tips if you are feeling a bit scared for your Fright Nights trip. Earlier on, I ranked all of the experiences at Fright Nights from the tamest to the most intense. So if you follow this as a rough guide, you'll be able to slowly build yourself up to go into the more scary mazes. When going through a horror maze, the scariest places to be located are either the front of the group or the back of the group. The front for obvious reasons, because you get the majority of the actors' jump scares, you're the first person to see all of the scenery and the actors. And the back because often once the whole group has gone through, actors can sometimes follow your group, so if you're at the back, you're constantly looking behind you in case an actor is like trying to sneak up behind you. Therefore, if you try and position yourself in the middle of your group, you're kind of protected from a lot of the actors' scare tactics, and it's a bit harder for the actors to scare you. Actors can be very mean people and will often target guests that they can see are particularly scared. So if you're screaming every time you see an actor, then they're often going to pick up on these signs and antagonize you even more. So it may sound stupid, but if you are genuinely very scared, my best piece of advice would be to just try and suppress it and act as normal as possible, because if they can see you're not really affected by the scares, they'll kind of leave you alone a bit. But if you are visually being very scared, then they're gonna target you a lot more. A key thing to remember is, although the actors are allowed to touch you, they will never ever hurt you when inside a horror maze. You are completely safe, so a good idea if you are scared is to try and convert that nervousness into comedy. Try laughing and finding it funny when people in your group get scared, and then when you inevitably get scared, it might not be so bad. All of the mazes at Fright Nights, apart from Blair Witch, do open at 3 PM. So during the day, there's not a lot in terms of horror going on at all. There's no actors really roaming around. So you are safe up until 3 PM. This year, there are no roaming actors, so you're even safer than in previous years. You might find the odd actor walking past going to their maze, but there isn't a dedicated team of roaming actors this year. So if you are scared of mazes and you don't really want to deal with that, then you can chill around the majority of the park and you're fairly safe. So yeah, those are my very own Fright Nights 2019 top tips. It really is the best time of the year, and I hope you have a brilliant time when you visit Thorpe Park Fright Nights this year. Just a quick reminder, if you do visit, the actors, although it is their job to literally scare you to death, they are people too, so please just respect them and remember they are allowed to touch you, but you're not allowed to touch them back. And yeah, thank you very much for watching this video, everyone. Be sure to subscribe to his channel for all of the latest Thorpe Park news, as well as exclusive Fright Nights content, such as some behind the scenes maze videos, which will be released very, very soon.
So you come on inside. So it's going to be a lot of flashing lights. There's going to be smell pods that smell like burning and burnt fireworks.
Exciting stuff. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to be notified as soon as those videos are released. And yeah, if you have enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a thumbs up, as it really helps out the channel. And yeah, thank you very, very much for watching. My name is TheJackSilkstone. Goodbye.